Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda, makers of the new Accord SEI four-door sedan. RCA, creators of video technology that excites the senses. And by Team Xerox, the right products and right people, all working together.
This game has changed in complexion entirely in the first two quarters. This was first quarter statistics.
Darn near a reversal. You look in the first quarter, the Giants had the ball 12 minutes to only 2 minutes, 58 seconds, 8 first downs to 1 first down. Then you go the second quarter, and it kind of flips over. Now the Cowboys had the ball over 11 minutes to a little over 4 minutes for the Giants. So it was a first quarter won by the Giants, a second quarter won by the Cowboys, and now we go on to the third.
And Ali Haji-Sheikh will get things started. Sheikh. Gary Allen at the 2. Flag is down. The illegal block.
Above the waist, from behind.
Always.
Special in the league. I think they'll get that thing figured out pretty soon, and it's darn near. They've made so many things illegal on the kick blocking that there's not much legally that you can do. So on most of the kicks, you're going to have that penalty if you have any contact at all. You know what I mean? I think sometimes they make rules. It's easy to make rules. Say, thou shalt not do this, or cannot do that, you cannot do that. But sometimes they have to look at, well, if we can't do all those things, what's left that we can do legally to make this game flow smoothly?
That really is so true. You'll hardly get a kickoff or a punt return of any length when there's not an illegal block. Hogeboom is still the quarterback. He was 5 out of 9 in the first half. To Dorsett. Got some blockers around the corner. Dorsett outside the 15 to about the 16. Mark Haynes made the stop, but the Cowboys got around the corner with 2 blockers in front of Dorsett in good shape.
You know, one thing that these Cowboys can do is we talk about Tony Dorsett and being able to get around a corner. What that does to a defense is that stretches it width-wise. Then when you have a guy like Tony Hill, Thrill Hill, who can get deep, then that stretches it the other way. Then you have the defense where they have to defend the whole field.
2nd and 3. Cowboys have it at their own 16. First series of half number 2. That's Dorsett in motion. Over the left side is Ron Springs. He might be a little bit shy of the first down. George Martin made the tackle. Third and 1. They'll go with a triple tight end offense.
70 eligible, the referee was saying. That means that Howard Richards, who normally plays left tackle in short yardage in this formation, is now a tight end. We'll see him here on the right side.
I think it was Timmy Newsom, and I think he got enough for a first down, but just barely. Byron Hunt made the stop. They got it.
It is. They're going to start this side. See, they start like it's going to the left. They counter back. Newsom gets right there man-to-man on Byron Hunt, number 57, and Newsom won that battle. He pushed Byron Hunt back.
Lawrence Taylor is down.
I'll tell you, you talk about a player that can really affect a football game, and that's Lawrence Taylor. You know, when we were talking to Tom Landry yesterday, he told us something that Tom doesn't really throw around a lot of accolades, but he said of all the years he's been in the league, that's a long, long time, as a player, an assistant coach, and a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, he said Lawrence Taylor is the best outside linebacker he's ever seen.
And from Landry, that is real praise. And I think I'd have to agree with him, wouldn't you?
I would too.
7-6. Dallas leads.
I think we can see it here, Pat. Number 56 in the right part of the picture here. Now watch as he comes in here, watch his right shoulder. It looks like he just throws it in there. And right there in the contact, as he made contact, it looked like it jolted him back a little. And it looks like his right shoulder neck area.
That's what they're working with on the sideline over there, his neck, right side of his neck.
And he's telling the doctor where it is. It hurts right here.
First down, Cowboys. Pitch back to Dorsett. Nothing doing this time. Right now for an NFL update. Hold it a second, though. There's a flag down on the play. I was about to say we'll go for an update, but we'll wait a minute.
That was one of those late flags. It looked like it was darn near after the play was over. One of those long flags. The guy throws it, goes about 20 yards in the air and about 10 yards deep. They caught the Cowboys, though.
Word on
89 offense, still first down, 10-yard penalty.
The word on Lawrence Taylor is that he has a pinched nerve in his neck.
Let's see if we can see that holding. Right there, you see the tight end? Salonen right there, the number 89. He had his right hand up behind the linebacker's shoulder pad.
Here's Taylor. They're putting a neck protective harness on him right now. It's 1st and 20, Cowboys. Pitch back to Dorsett. Outside the 20 to the 25. Terry Kennard make the stop. Now, for that update, let's go to Brent Musburger in our New York studio. Brent?
Pat, the Minnesota Vikings have just swept into the league, and it is Darren Nelson coming around the right side against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gets into the end zone. It is 17-14, fights for the lead. Let's go back to Pat.
7-6 here at Texas Stadium, third quarter. 12:57 left to play in the third quarter. Line of scrimmage, the Dallas 26, with the Cowboys leading by 1 point. Giants haven't won here since 1974. This is Ron Springs. Over the left side, looks to be about a yard shy of the first down. Harry Carson on the stop.
Let's watch number 64, Jim Burton there. He takes on Tom Rafferty, the center, starts to play off. And I'll tell you, Rafferty did a good job. And Burt, he's down on his back, but he's still working, though. Do you see him? He's on his back, two guys on that, and he's trying to lift that left hand up there to see if he can find any guys. I'll tell you, that's a tough place to play.
Got the first down, just barely.
Bill Parcells was saying last night that those nose tackles get blocked from so many angles that he said Burt was trying to get too fancy, and they forget just to play the center. They're thinking about the guard coming down, the tight end coming, the guy in motion, the back. He said they forget to go boom and just play that center.
Lawrence Taylor is back in the helmet. It looks like he'll be back very shortly. First down, Cowboys, their own 30. Dorsett again. He's going to spring. Tony for about 8. Gary Reasons makes the stop, and Dorsett stays down.
I tell you, that was that counter play that the Washington Redskins have made so popular, where they start, they right, and then they pull their right tackle. Now watch Phil Pozderac. He comes around. Watch the right tackle, 75 there. He comes all the way. Look at the block that he makes right there, and that's the one that frees Tony Dorsett to pick up that 7 or 8 yards.
Now they're gathered around Dorsett, who's up on his knees. He's carried 9 times, picked up 50 yards so far. It's like he got the wind knocked out of him that last time. Dallas leading 7-6. Tom Landry checks his scorecard. Texas Stadium. Tony Dorsett, 9 carries, 50 yards. Appears just to be shaken a little bit. And it looks like he should be back. 2nd and 2. And Lawrence Taylor is back in the contest. Timmy Newsome has replaced Dorsett. Newsome, the ball carrier. Couple over the right side.
Remember a couple years ago when Timmy Newsome was a fullback, Tom Landry moved him to tailback, and he said he didn't want to play tailback, and he left camp for a while, and he thought he would sit out there, and Tom Landry said, well, let him sit. He's going to be a tailback. So Timmy Newsom finally came back and said, okay, I'll be a tailback. But as Tom said, he's just such a competitor, he thought he had a better chance to play more at fullback than he did at tailback.
Mark Haynes on the stop with help from Gary Reasons. Tony Dorsett over on the sideline, still being talked to by Dr. Marvin Knight.
As you said, he looked like he had the wind knocked out of him and maybe a little woozy. He was taking out smelling salts, and then they were putting ice on his neck.
2nd and 7. 10.5 minutes left to play third quarter. Hogeboom back to throw it. Leonard Marshall on the sack of Hogeboom.
Watch out, Leonard. Don't be demonstrating now. Oh, Leonard, he wants to get carried away there with that. He made a nice move. Howard Richards, number 70, was the guy blocking him. We'll see number 70 on 70. It's on the right-hand side of the screen. Watch him. He starts like he's going outside. Then he grabs the shoulder pads and just runs right by to the outside. He started into him slowly, grabbed his left shoulder, went right around him, and got in behind and got Hogeboom. Now look, he looks like he started a little demonstration.
Yes,
he said, oh, not in this league we can't do that. No demonstrating here.
Excitement not allowed. Third down.
The Giants took a timeout.
The Giants did take a timeout, so they'll have 2 when we get down to the end of the game, should they need it. On CBS, the second game will be either the Giants against Tampa Bay or Dallas against St. Louis in St. Louis. And we look forward to seeing Jim Hanifin's Cardinals. And the NFL today will have a special feature on the coach of the St. Louis Cardinals, Jim Hanifin. Coach who believes in building through the draft, and this year it's paying off. And I guess they really got some passing attack, John.
Well, they do. You know, it's the thing we were talking about earlier. If you can stretch a defense like the Cardinals can with a Roy Green, and then stretch it the other way with a Stump Mitchell and Otis Anderson, then you have those defenses in a real bind.
Tony Hill. Hogeboom was high. Mark Haynes, the defender. There's a flag on the play. He's going to be holding against Dallas again. I imagine they'll be playing this one.
Offense number 75. Penalty refused. 4th down.
Big Phil Pozderac call for holding. He got one of the game balls last week.
Right, he did. He's made a nice adjustment. He was the starting left tackle, and then when Cooper went out, he had to move from left tackle to right tackle, and Howard Richards moved to left tackle.
John Warren is the punter. Phil McConkey is back deep for the Giants. Warren hangs a good one. McConkey dodges a couple, almost gets his head taken off, and goes down at about the 28-yard line. 43-yard punt, 5-yard return, a net of 38. So it's 7-6, Dallas leading the Giants. Right now for an NFL update, let's take you to Brent Musburger in the New York studio.
All right, Pat, the Packers go ahead. Here's the combination that did it for their first touchdown. Dickey to Kaufman, and the big tight end battles his way into the end zone on the Saints. And now the Packers lead it 17-10. Back to Pat.
We're in the third quarter here with the Cowboys leading the Giants 7-6. The second meeting of the year between these two teams. The Giants won the first one. Sims intended for Carpenter. He throws low. Bob Brunig on the coverage.
Let's watch that punt. You know, on the punt coverage, the only 2 guys that can go down when the ball snapped are the 2 outside guys. So they draw a crowd. They're double. You see here, they're hitting them fair. Then they have 2 guys on them, and wherever they go, they double that outside guy all the way down the field. Like the ball carrier on offense, those outside guys throw out a punt cover.
That's a thankless job. Carpenter cuts back and has some room. Gets outside the 30, about the 33. Struggles for more.
One thing I think the Giants have to do is I think they have to open up on first down. It looks like a pretty good shot to me. They've been running mostly on first down. Now I think the Cowboys are in the defense on first down if they would want them in. I think that's the time to throw now and not get in those third and long situations.
This is 3rd and 3. McConkey's in the game as a wide receiver. The Cowboys are showing blitz. That's a catch. Bobby Johnson gets the strike from Sims. Ron Fellows on the coverage. The Cowboys in that all-out blitz again.
And that's the advantage of not being 3rd and long. If you gain relatively success on 1st and 2nd down, then you're able to throw a pattern like this to Bobby Johnson. It's just about a 3 or 4 yard pattern. See, they had 3 yards to go. He runs about a yard or 2 up beyond the first down marker to get the first down. So then you can handle the blitz and get rid of the ball quickly.
8:45 left to play 3rd quarter. First down Giants. Ball at their own 40. Sims gives to Carpenter over the right side. Carpenter surges ahead for about 7 yards. Just to update the situation on Danny White. Word we have is that he has a bruised shoulder and may or may not return. I gather from that he could come back if it was really necessary.
Well, the bad news is that he has a bruised shoulder. If there's any good news in it, it's his left shoulder.
He's been replaced by Hogeboom. Right now, it's the Giants on 2nd and short, 2nd and 3, and they're going to throw. Sims sacked by Randy White. Dutton was there also.
Now, Randy White looks like a guy who plays the game, and at some point he said, look, it's time to take this thing over. I've had enough of this. It goes boom into his guy, works to the outside, and when he grabs you, you've been grabbed. Watch it from the end zone. He's right there in front of us now. He's working against Ard, and that's a stunt there. The end, Jeffcoat starts to the inside. White comes to the outside.
That'll make it 3rd and 14. Here's that situation that John Madden was talking about that you don't want to get into. Then they can come at you with that blitz. Fellows, good coverage. They put the heat on Sims. Bobby Johnson, the intended receiver. Oh, that's a lonely feeling out there by yourself like that.
If you're the cover guy, but I'll tell you, that may be a better feeling than the one Phil Sims had with all those guys coming on him. I think I'd rather have that lonely feeling. Watch Phil Sims here. Just as he gets rid of the ball, and they get him high, low, from the front and the back, just as he throws it.
Jennings. Gary Allen lets it bounce. It bounces back toward the Giants into the field. They've done it. Robbie Jones fielded it, and the Cowboys will take over after a 34-yard punt by Dave Jennings. 7:17 left to play in the 3rd quarter. It's Dallas 7, Giants 6. Remains 7:17 left to play, 3rd quarter. Mike Renfro and Tony Hill are the wide receivers. Hogeboom the quarterback. Springs over the left side. Good surge, about 4 yards. Leonard Marshall on the bottom of the pile. Dorsett is back in the game, by the way.
They were talking about the Giants only averaging 2.9 yards a carry. Well, the Cowboys have also been having their problems running, and I think that's one of the reasons that they're struggling this year. They're averaging 3.5, but they really haven't uncorked that run all year. I think if there's anything that bothers Tom Landry about this team, it's that.
They've had so many changes to make in their offensive line setup. Marshall takes down Hogeboom from behind. He beat Howard Richards.
I tell you, he did a job on Howard Richards that time before he beat him. He just took Richards and he drove him back into the backfield about 5 yards. He's over there on the other side. He's coming from the other side. You see Richards' feet right there, and then he comes off it. When he gets there at Danny White, he was going for that helmet area. I mean, Gary Hogeboom, he was going for that helmet area. He just took Richards and drove him 5 yards into the backfield.
That's the 4th Giant sack of the day as the wave sweeps around Texas Stadium. Again, Hogeboom under heavy pressure from Lawrence Taylor. Down he goes. Doug Donnelly was the intended receiver.
I'll tell you one thing about this game. These teams are going after that quarterback today. Watch Taylor. When he gets zeroed in on you, you're zeroed in on. That was from the other side. That was Byron Hunt on that one. But I'll tell you, they are zeroing in on those quarterbacks on both sides today.
Warren back to punt. McConkey back deep for the Giants. Here's a good one. At the 25. Best place to do in that situation is exactly what he did. Get out of bounds. 37 yards, the net on the punt. Jennings knocked it, Warren knocked it 48 yards. Dallas 7, the Giants 6. That 1-point lead, 7-6. We have 6 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Giants have the ball at their own 36.5-yard line. They go with 2 setbacks this time. Carpenter bounces to the outside, does a lot of running, but only gets a couple of yards before Bill Bates gets him down.
You wonder why Bill Bates is in there. He's not in at strong safety. He's in at middle linebacker. The Cowboys have gone back to using their 4-0 defense, which means 4 defensive linemen, 7 defensive backs. And of course, Bill Bates is one of those defensive backs. He lines up there at the linebacker position. They're saying you aren't going to beat us running. If you're going to beat us, you're going to throw it, and you're going to throw it against 7 defensive backs.
2nd and 10. Sims back to throw. He does have time, and he has a receiver. Lionel Manuel. Taken down by Fellows, but they move into Cowboy territory. A pickup of 20.
I think Lionel Manuel is going to be one of those big play guys for the Giants. I mean, he's going to be someday, he could be like a Cliff Branch. You see that quickness he has? He's down the field, boom, and then whap, he goes to the inside. Fellows is still in his back pedal. I'll tell you, this kid has a lot of life, and he's putting some life in this Giant offense.
5'11", just 175, but he's got that quickness. The give is to Carpenter, straight ahead, just for a couple. Clock running at 4:25 now left to play third quarter. The Giants grinding it into Cowboy territory. They've got 2 field goals from Ali Haji-Sheikh, and that's all the points. 2nd and 7.
The one thing this Giant offense can't do is go into a shell. I think they just have to keep attacking, just keep going.
Sims to throw. Well, he's got a man wide open. It's Zeke Mowat. Mowat out of bounds at the Dallas 12-yard line. Dexter Quickscale took him out.
I think that's the way that a team like the Giants beats a team like Dallas. You just go back, just let the thing go. Just go back, throw darn near every down, hope you get the protection. When you do, you're going to have guys open. Here we see Zeke Mowat coming out there and doing a good job of getting a big play. Now, the key to this is protection. The Giants have been doing a good job of protection against the Cowboys without the blitz. The problem they've been having is a blitz. You see, that time, no blitz, good protection.
First down at the 11, 29-yard gain. Sims to Mowat. Here's Joe Morris. Inside the 10 to about the 8. Dexter Quickscale and company. John Dutton helped.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but that may have been the first time that Joe Morris has carried the ball since he fumbled in the first half. That's the type of thing I think they have to do. I mean, you go and you keep stretching the defense, keep doing it, keep going after him. I don't think you can go into a shell in any way.
Well, they didn't do it last week against the Redskins. They came out firing in the second half, although they had a good lead. Sims looking for that touchdown. And he got it. Lionel Manuel over
watch it. That's just that little quick up. You see, when you're down there about the 10-yard line, you take a 3-step drop, throw it up over the receiver's outside shoulder. You see that where there's no way Walls can get it. That ball is either going to be complete for a touchdown or it's going to be an incomplete pass, but it won't be intercepted. See, it's thrown right now. They both still have their back to it, up over Manuel's outside shoulder where there's no way. Everson Walls jumps, but he can't get that ball. Look at Sims. He'll give you a reaction like a linebacker. Whap!
Yeah. Ed Jones is the injured Cowboy who's down still on the ground. He's been unusually durable over the years. They went 63 yards in 6 plays, kept the ball 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Sims' record on the day is 13 carries for 28 yards. Next week, our NFL schedule, it's doubleheader week on CBS. New Orleans will be at Atlanta. Detroit, Washington, Philadelphia, Miami, San Francisco goes to Cleveland. Those are the first games of our doubleheader. Then the Giants will be at Tampa Bay, and the Cowboys will be in St. Louis. That game was scheduled to be an early game, a noon start. Now they've changed it later, so most of the country will see that. And how important is that game going to be, and this one? Dallas and St. Louis tied at 6-3. The Giants just a game back along with Washington, and then Philadelphia at 4-5, depending upon what happens today. Washington, of course, plays tomorrow night against Atlanta.
Yeah, the interesting thing, I think that it's going to go down this way all season in this Eastern Division, and I could see a very strong possibility of both wild cards coming out of this Eastern Division.
Ali Haji-Sheikh with Jeff Rutledge holding, trying to make it 13-7. The extra point is good. And with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the third quarter at Texas Stadium, the Giants recapture the lead. It's 13-7. Remind you again about next week here on CBS. The #1 ranked Washington Huskies against number 18, the USC Trojans. Rose Bowl on the line. That's at 3:30. Live, 3:30 Eastern time it is. Sort of surprising, strange to see the Washington ranked as the #1 team in the country. Ali Haji-Sheikh has a new holder this year. He's had a frustrating year. This is Jeff Rutledge. It was Scott Bruner before. Looked like a good hold. Chuck McSwain from out of his own end zone. Again, he breaks out. And again, the inevitable flag comes down.
That was another one of those long flags. I mean, that one flew about 20 yards. I like that. Oh, yeah. Blocking from behind above the waist and all that stuff.
Keep up down there!
3:02 left to play in the third quarter.
Number 40, dirty run back. 10 yards penalty, first down.
That's Butch Woolfolk, number 25, limping off to the side. First down, Cowboys operate deep in their own territory. 3:02 left to play third quarter. The Giants have just taken the lead. Hogeboom is still the quarterback. Dorsett and Spring still the runner. Dorsett got a blocker. Still on his feet and out of bounds. He gets a first down. Courier knocked him out of bounds. Terry Kennard is back on his back and hurt again.
I think it's that turf toe with Terry Kennard. In fact, he's going out on that play, but you know that run there, that's Only the great running backs can make a run like that. I mean, you can coach and draw up plays, but you never draw up this. Watch, Dorsett starts out here to the left, cuts back. Now he's going to come back. Can't find a hole. Lawrence Taylor misses there. You don't see a lot of those. Then he just runs all the way. It was designed to go to the left, ends up all the way out of bounds on the right-hand sideline.
Ed Jones has a sprained knee and in likelihood will not be back. The pass is out to Spring. He's out of bounds at about the Dallas 29. Very Reasons took him out. Well, with help from Bill Courier.
I think one thing the Cowboys are going to have to do now is find a way to get the ball to an outside receiver. I mean, they can throw it to their fullback and their backs and tight end, but I think they have to get Tony Hill involved in this game, or at least Doug Cosby, and start getting bigger chunks of yardage.
Well, Cosby's been nicked a little bit and not playing. Fred Cornwell has been the tight end. Here's a screen pass to Dorsett. Can't hang on. Just as well, the Giants had people out there.
I think what's happening here, I think that they are, working those screens and those short things, but they have to get the ball deeper. Here we see Lawrence Taylor, and what he does, he starts to rush, takes on a block, just works to the outside, through blockers, grabs the ball, keeps going. I'll tell you, he'll give you a full game.
Dallas 7 completions. That's right, 7. 5 have been to running backs. Not, as John said, to the wide receivers. Renfro comes wide to the right. Tony Hill goes left. 3rd and 6. The Springs, but there's a flag on the play. A penalty marker down.
I think that's Hogeboom. I mean, Hogeboom is, he's able to find those running backs, but I think eventually they have to get the tight end or wide receivers and spread out that defense.
Going to be a holding call against the Cowboys.
Illegal use of the hands, number 68 offense, a push in the face. 3rd down.
68 is Herbert Scott, who is not playing at his normal left guard position. He's playing left tackle.
Howard Richards started out there, and he's been having a little trouble on pass protection with Leonard Marshall, so they put the veteran Herbert Scott in there. Now, what he was called on is that initial move, instead of hitting on the shoulder pads, going up and hitting in the face.
3rd and 16. Hogeboom ducks under the pressure, is being chased again, has some time, has Donnelly, and he can't come up with it. Again, they chase Hogeboom. Jim Burt, the nose man who was chasing Hogeboom, was down on his knees, banging his head on the ground because he missed.
He's still complaining out there, Jim Burt. He's still upset.
Yeah. Warren into punt again. 1:57 left 3rd quarter. The Giants leading 13-7. Off the side of the foot. McConkey. Cut down by Carl Howard just as soon as he got the ball. With 1:48 left to play in the 3rd quarter, it's Giants 13, Dallas 7. Right now for an NFL update, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Pat, we've got 8 minutes to go in the Silverdome, and the Eagles have tied up the Lions. Haddix pounds in. That's only the 3rd rushing touchdown of the year for the Eagles. It is now 20-all. Let's go back to Pat.
13-7 here. The Giants have the ball right at midfield. Ernest Gray splits wide to the left. Bobby Johnson on the other side. Sims is going to put it up on 1st down. Going for Gray. Incomplete. Fellows running with him step for step. Let's run down some of the rest of the scores while we have a chance. Green Bay over New Orleans 20-10. Minnesota has gone ahead of Tampa Bay 17-14. The Bears 14-6 over the Raiders. That's in the fourth quarter now. San Diego beating Indianapolis 24-10. Buffalo 10, Cleveland 6. And Pittsburgh 35, Houston nothing. Second and 10. Morris ducking and squirming over the right side. Mark Tounier, who has replaced Ed Jones on the tackle.
I think that the Giants really have to keep on going here. 6 points won't do it in this game.
Third down and 7. Just over a minute left to play in the third quarter. Crowd coming to life. Sims out of the pocket, scrambling. Fires to the sideline. Lionel Manuel made the catch, was knocked out of bounds, but they got the first down. 11 yards, 27. Ron Fellows knocked him out of bounds.
Yeah, this has been a good play for the Giants. Well, watch it. It's a little organized scramble. See Sims from the shotgun, gets the ball. Now he follows his big center, Kevin Belcher, out to the left. Good protection there, solid. Now Lionel Manuel on that same side that Sims sprints to, he runs an out pattern just up beyond the first down marker. That's a good play. That's been a good third down play for him today.
In a couple of clutch situations, it's got them a first down. 20 seconds left to play third quarter. Sims to Carpenter by Randy White. Sims strolling over to the sidelines. That's going to be the last play of the third quarter. That is the end of the third quarter with the score of the Giants 13, the Cowboys 7. We now pause.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Cadillac Motor Car Division and your Cadillac dealer. Best of all, it's a Cadillac. Miller High Life. Welcome to Miller Time. And by AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound.
Pat Summerall, John Madden, Texas Stadium, where the Giants lead the Cowboys by the score of 13-7, and they're on the Cowboy 36 right now. Second down. They need 9. Cowboys had the blitz coming. Michael Downs came up from his free safety spot.
Michael Downs is a pretty good blitzer. He's going to come in. You see him come into the screen. He's trying to get there and time it just as the ball snaps. Ard does a pretty good job of picking him up. Now Sims still had to get rid of the ball. He's throwing it on a slant, and he just throws it to the outside.
Randy White was right in his face.
Just watch him come to the middle. Ard picks him up. Then they let Randy White go. Had 2 guys on the blitz and no one on Randy White. That's why Sims had to throw it.
Third and 9. Sims again the blitz. Incomplete and no penalty markers down. Sims again was hurried, intended for Ernest Gray.
We see the receivers going downfield here. Now what we have is we have an in and an out and up. Now I'm sure that Sims was upset because that was the play he wanted against the blitz. To get that out and up to Ernest Gray, he had the play he wanted, and he just didn't get it out to him.
Dave Jennings has come on. Bill Parcells a little shaky about using Ali Haji-Sheikh from this far out these days. So Jennings is going to try to get it out of bounds. Just missed. Just missed. They'll bring it back to the 20. 16 yards. 36-yard punt, but they bring it back to the 20, so Jennings nets just 16 yards. Richards, by the way, is back at left tackle now. Herbert Scott gets a rest. Counter play coming. Dorsett skips away from one man, spins away from another and gets nothing out of it. Jim Burt and Gary Reasons over there to stop him. George Martin checks in. Casey Merrill comes in. He and Martin, the two pass rushing specialists. Dorsett, 11 carries, 65 yards. He had his first 100-yard game last week against Indianapolis. First this year. You got to hurry. Had 1 second left on the clock. Dorsett comes up with a catch on a screen pass. Gets away from Courier. Is knocked out of bounds by Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, we were talking about being at practice yesterday, and this is what the Cowboys were working on with these screen passes. But I think they're at a point now that the Giants are playing so close to the line of scrimmage that they're looking for the short passes to the backs, that they're looking for the screens. They're all there seeing position. I think that the screens, I know that the screens are effective when you drive the defense off and make them play deep and hit the screen in front of them. The Giants are playing very tight on the Cowboys.
3rd and 4. Cowboys at their own 26. Hogeboom out of the spread. Lawrence Taylor showing blitz. Now Hogeboom got to hurry. They just barely got it off. Hogeboom throws behind Renfro. So much confusion, they just barely got the play off.
I think what Hogeboom was saying is that they were in a formation that wasn't legal, and he had to get another man up in the line of scrimmage. He finally got that up, but then he got pressured, and no one was open, so he had to throw it away anyway.
He had Lawrence Taylor right in his face.
Could have run from an illegal formation anyway.
Warren comes into punt. Frustrated Tom Landry at the moment. The Cowboy offensive unit's been very quiet.
Well, you know, in the 3rd quarter, their total passing, the Cowboys, was minus 13 yards.
This is McConkey on the punt return. Cut down from behind by Bill Bates. 42-yard punt by Warren. And with 13:35 left to play, the Giants continue to lead the Cowboys 13-44. Sims going to work. And going deep. Lionel Manuel is caught from behind inside the Cowboy 5. Michael Downs and Everson Walls.
I was saying earlier, Lionel Manuel is going to be like Cliff Branch used to be for the Oakland Raiders. I was talking about the future. He very well could be right now. This is the type of thing that you need, the guy that can get deep. Watch him, he's on Walls here. Walls is starting playing his zone. Then he gets a bump. Manuel just runs right by him. He has that great speed and quickness and can adjust on the ball. Just runs right past the two defenders. I'll tell you, he is an exciting little guy.
He really is.
Rookie from the University of Pacific, California.
1st and goal. The ball's at the 3. Morris from behind by Ed Jones. A yard loss, maybe 2.
I'm surprised that Bill Parcells called that same play again. They were, earlier in the first half, they were at the same position on the field. They ran the same play to Joe Morris, and that was a play he fumbled on. Remember the Bob Brunig hit?
2nd and goal at the 5. Brunig is not in the game now. It's Eugene Lockhart at middle linebacker.
Eugene, the hitting machine.
2nd and goal from the 5 now. They lost 2. Carpenter is hit by Randy White before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you, Randy White got penetration there. He hits the gap. Now watch him. Carpenter just gets the ball. He's lucky that he was able to hold on to that ball, that it wasn't a fumble. Watch Randy White, 54. He's going to shoot that gap. The center block's left. He goes right in there, and he shoots the gap, and he gets Carpenter right after he gets a handoff. That could have been a fumble.
Very easily.
Good play by Carpenter to even hold on to that.
Right. They lost another yard. Well, it's 3rd down and goal. Back at the 6. Sims back to throw. Fires for the corner for Ernest Gray. Incomplete. Ron Fellows on the coverage.
I'll tell you one thing. I think the Cowboy defense really rose to the occasion down there on that goal line. I mean, they were spirited. Randy White hitting the gap, the tackle on the 2 runs. The Giants are probably thinking, now, geez, on that second one, we probably should have gone a play fake.
23 yards on this attempt by Ali Haji-Sheikh, and this is a big one. It's good. And the Giants move further ahead. They lead Dallas now 16-7 with 10 minutes and 58 seconds left to play. Giants are up 16-7. 58 left to play. McSwain and Allen back deep for the Cowboys. McSwain. Not much there. Larry Flowers was the man who made the hit.
And Danny White's coming back in at quarterback, I think. In fact, I think that would be a smart move if he's okay.
It is Danny White.
That's the thing that Tom Landry was talking about. He said, you know, the rest of the season, he said, I may very well do that. Start Danny White, bring in Hogeboom for a while, and then go back with Danny White. That's what we're seeing today, but Hogeboom was not very effective. In fact, he was very ineffective.
Danny White only threw 2 passes before he got hurt. Completed 1 of them. Fred Cornwell, the tight end, couldn't find the handle.
I think one thing earlier, Doug Cosby was dinged, and they said that he might be back, and of course he hasn't come back, and I think that is hurting the Cowboys passing to some extent. I still feel that somehow they have to get the ball to Tony Hill.
That's their only touchdown. They did get the ball to him 1 time. There's Doug Cosby. He looks a little woozy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And the fact that he doesn't have his helmet on or in his hand means that he's probably not coming in.
Newsom was the man in motion. The give is to Dorsett. Dorsett out of bounds after picking up about 9. Bill Courier took him out of bounds. He might have gotten enough for a 1st down.
I'll tell you, Tony Dorsett hit that hole pretty quick. We see what happens now. The Giants have to take on the block and then get Dorsett, and we see Marshall coming from the outside, and once he gets through that hole, he's into the secondary, and your safeties have to make that tackle because he doesn't spend a lot of time hanging around in there in that line of scrimmage area.
12 carries, 74 yards for Dorsett. It's 3rd and 1. A rather large 3rd and 1. Maybe not. I don't think he got it.
No. I'll tell you, that's a surprise. Ron Springs really isn't a big runner on this team. And to have Springs carry on a pitch to the outside, of course, Dorsett wasn't in there. That's Timmy Newsom blocking for Ron Springs. But usually you would think that in that situation, you'd try and get Springs the blocker and have the ball carried by his halfback, either Dorsett or Newsom, who was in on that play.
Good play by Gary Reasons. Shut off that 1st down. Here's Warren to punt and Phil McConkey back deep.
Phil McConkey's a tough little guy.
He really enjoys it, doesn't he?
He's not going to fair catch a lot of it.
Right in McConkey's face as he made the catch. That was well timed.
I don't know if a punt returner wants to be a tough little guy. I think when you're a tough little guy, you tend to do this when you should be fair catching. Now, to be able to catch your ball and have that guy right in your face and hold on to it, to me, is amazing.
That's really tough how he did that. 16-7, the Giants lead the Cowboys. We're in the fourth quarter. 10 minutes left. Play. Line of scrimmage is the Giant 33. Carpenter wrestled to the ground by John Dutton. And a lot of people down today.
Well, that looks like Ed Jones for the second time. You know, he had the...
No, it's not Ed. He's standing.
Oh, that's right. That was Ed.
It's Mike Hegman. That's who it is. Right now, while we have a moment for an NFL update, let's take you to Brent Musburger in New York.
Pat, 1:03 remaining. Eddie Murray's 19-yard field goal has given the Lions a 3-point lead now, but the Eagles are trying to come back. 27 seconds to go, but the Eagles are out of timeouts. I'll send you back to Pat.
16-7 here at Texas Stadium. 9:46 remains. The Giants lead as Mike Hegman is still down. A lot of people hurt today.
You know, it's that point in the season when you get beyond the midpoint and you get where the body's played more than 12 games. I think you go through a period starting now where you have the nicks because players are playing with nicks. You know, you can't play 12, 13, 14 games and come in completely healthy. I think from this point on, we see more and more players go down in the game.
Hegman limps out. Jeff Rohr would be his normal replacement, number 50, and that's who it is. 2nd and 8.
Jeff Rohr, he's one of those Ivy League players. Jeff Rohr is out of Yale, number 2 draft choice. Remember, in fact, he was the highest draft choice since Calvin Hill come out of there. Also out of Yale.
Sims back to throw. They got a blitz going. Zeke Mowat in the hands of Michael Downs. And he wrestles him to the ground. It'll be short of the first down. It'll bring up a 3rd and about 3.
I like what Bill Parcells told us yesterday about Zeke Mowat. He said he's a lunch pail kind of guy. You know, he said he reminds me a lot of Jim Burt. You know, when you compare your tight end to the nose tackle, that's a pretty good guy. I mean, that means he blocks, he goes like this. Guys don't tackle him, takes a whole bunch of guys to get him down. Well, I was saying earlier, before the game, he was asking an assistant trainer to go in and get Tony Dorsett's autograph for him. That's my kind of guy. I like that kind of guy.
He's caught 5 passes for 80 yards. 3rd and 4.
Dorsett maybe asking for his autograph after the game.
Maybe. Sims has time. The ball is knocked away by Everson Walls at the last second. Phil McConkey was the intended receiver.
That was one of those deals. It was a tough thing for McConkey. It was 3rd down, and he was running a hook, and now he can't work back. He was afraid to work back too much. He would have lost his first down. So he waited for the ball, and Walls was able to jump in front of him.
And Jennings comes in to punt. Doesn't get it very well. Gary Allen has the ball bounce away from him. The Giants are going to down it at about the 14-yard line. 46 yards the net on that one, no return. And there's another Cowboy player down. Looks like Carl Howard. That's who it is.
Carl Howard has won the game ball for the special teams player of the game twice this year. He's down on a special teams play on a punt return for the Cowboys, but he's been one of the most valuable players on this Cowboy special teams this year.
That looks like the right leg, right knee, in fact.
Carl Howard almost signed with the Giants. You know, he was a rookie free agent from Rutgers, right next to the Giants. They tried to sign him, but he said that he always wanted to play for the Cowboys.
Next Sunday on the NFL Today, many of you will see a doubleheader with the Detroit Lions taking on the Washington Redskins, followed by the Dallas Cowboys against the St. Louis Cardinals, or other regional games. So check your local listing for the games in your area. And again, a reminder that Dallas-St. Louis game, the starting time has been changed. So instead of being an early game, it's a late game. For an NFL update, let's take you back to New York. And here again is Brent Musburger.
Pat, the Eagles moved the ball down the field. 7 seconds to go. Paul McFadden, who nailed 2 52-yarders, came through with this 41-yarder. And now the Eagles and the Lions will go to overtime. They're tied at 23. Back to Pat.
Pat Summerall and John Madden. And we were at Texas Stadium where the Giants lead Dallas 16-7. Let's see what happened to Carl Howard.
Well, you know, it could have been one of those. It's in the upper right-hand part of the screen. See number 21 right there. It looks like his right leg just got caught up. His right foot got caught up in the turf and twisted his leg. You know, that's one of those, another one of those injuries caused not by a player being hit, but by the surface, by the artificial turf. Yeah, his foot just got caught in the carpet.
Nobody hit him.
No.
Gets up a little shaky. And nobody hit him.
That's why I always like grass. That's the way this game was meant to be played. On real grass, you know, the kind you mow, not this plastic stuff.
8:27 left to play. As Marion Campbell of the Eagles was saying to us a couple of weeks ago when we were in Philadelphia, he's talking about the artificial turf. That stuff will put you down, he said.
Well, it did. The week before that, it put Wilbert Montgomery down, and then in that game, he lost his wide receiver.
That's right.
Shoulder.
Kenny Jackson. 1st and 10. The ball back at the Dallas 15. 8:27 left to play. Look at this in the second half. Now they got Doug Cosby back in. Tony Hill. He was open. He's only caught 1 pass today.
Yeah, that was the thing, and I think, you know, they probably talked about that same thing, that we have to do a lot better than this. Look at this second half possession of the Cowboys, and they haven't been getting the ball to their wide receivers or their tight end. So they put Doug Cosby back in the game now, and the first time they throw to Tony Hill. In fact, today, the wide receivers have only caught 1 pass. That was Tony Hill's. Cosby has caught 1, and the rest of the completions have been to running backs.
Renfro and Hill, a little confusion about who's going to line up where. Springs is lined up as a tight end on the left side this time. Here come the Giants on a blitz. White can't find anybody. Ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage, and there's a flag down.
I'll tell you what that is. I bet that's holding. That'll be holding on the Cowboys. Probably on the right tackle, Phil Pozderic. Was called from the official on the side. He's looking right in at that right tackle. I bet it was Pozderic.
He's really upset, Pozderic is.
Well, then it was on. That's
Holding,
number
75 offense, penalty refused, 3rd down.
That official looks right down at that right tackle. Phil Pozderic saying, that's the second time you got me. Now watch him. He's right in the right-hand side of the screen. Starts his pass protection there. It looks okay when he's in the picture. Then he goes out there. Then he has that right arm up around George Martin.
Carl Howard has a twisted right knee and will not be back. Cosby limping across the middle. Can't come up with it. Bill Courier on the defense, and the Cowboys will have to punt again.
Here's what we're talking about with the Cowboys. Look at that. The wide receivers have caught 2 passes. I think they only caught 1. I think Tony Hill was the only one they caught. Tight end caught 1, and running backs caught 6. And that won't get the job done. But a lot of that is coverage by the Giants. The Giants are doing a good job, as they did on that last play, of covering all those Cowboy defenders.
Warren back to kick. McConkey. Good kick by Warren. McConkey chased by Bates. Taken down by Bates. Took him right out of his towel. 46-yard punt by Warren.
Hey, if you're going to rip a man's towel off, you're going to have to fight for it, it looks like, huh? The towel goes down, the fight starts.
But the Giants take over in good shape again. Ball's at their own 40-yard line. 7:59 left to play. New York leading 16-7. Johnson in motion. Sims gives to Carpenter. Only a couple. Ed Jones and Randy White converge to bring him down.
I think with 7 minutes, I think the Giants still have to pass some here. I don't think when you're a team like the Giants and you're playing a team like the Cowboys, whatever they are, whatever they were, I don't think you can go into a shell with 7 minutes to go. I still think you need first down.
Plus, they've had so little success running the ball. Sims has got them in a passing formation. Byron Williams in motion. He gets straight ahead. Too tall Jones trips up Carpenter with help from John Dutton. It brings up a 3rd and 4.
And one thing the Giants are trying to do is get in those 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 situations so they can throw that 6-7 yard pass against the blitz, which they'll probably see on this play.
They put in Tony Galbraith. Dennis Thurman comes in with Dallas defense along with Bill Bates. Galbraith is the lone setback as Sims will operate out of a spread formation. Here's that rollout play. Sims going deep. Pass is intercepted. Intercepted by Dennis Thurman after it was deflected.
You know what happened on that play? Sims was sprinting to the right. He wanted to throw to Bobby Johnson, number 88, and Johnson fell down. Watch Sims. He'll start out here to the right on the sprint following the center. Bobby Johnson is running out. See him? He pumped the ball trying to throw short. See Johnson on the ground there? So he had to come off of that and then throw deep. He threw too deep, and it was intercepted. But that's as good a play as a punt. There's a trip right there. In fact, it was Manuel who tripped, not Bobby Johnson.
Emerson Walls is the man who deflected it, and Thurman came up with the interception. And Hogeboom is back at quarterback. He's got Dorsett. A Dallas first down outside the 30. Harry Carson, part of the sandwich that took Dorsett down. 19-yard gain.
I'll tell you one thing. This is an intense hitting game.
Really?
Both these sides are really going after each other. Guys are losing helmets and their towels and a lot of stuff flying around down there. Woo! Mouthpieces out. Third quarterback change. A lot of stuff.
First down, Dallas at their own 31. Hogeboom will have to throw if he has time, and he doesn't. George Martin gets him down. Got help from Jim Burton.
Hey, that's the 5th sack of the day for the Giants. That was a big one by George Martin. We'll see him coming in from the right of the screen on Pozderac. He makes an inside move, gets inside Pozderac, then straight up the field, right into Hogeboom. Now that's a drive stopper.
5th sack, the 3rd of Hogeboom. They'll get 2nd and 18 as Hill comes wide to the left and Donnelly is split out wide to the right. 5:20 left to play. 5:25 maybe. It's Tony Dorsett. Jim Burt made the stop. Annie White's shoulder obviously hurting him. His pads are off and they're just putting ice on it. He got hurt, did come back, but obviously in pain now. 3rd and 14 as Dorsett got 4.
You know what stopped Tony Dorsett on that last play was his own guy. He couldn't make any more moves, and he ran right into his guard, Glenn Titansoil.
Pass is picked off by Mark Haynes. Haynes still on his feet, chased by Spring. That might be just enough to hang on to it.
That could be. I think they were a little frustrated not getting the ball to Tony Hill. Hogeboom threw that one to Tony Hill. He forced it. Mark Haynes was there and brought it back the other way. Watch, you will see it. It's off to the right here. He's looking and he's going to force it in there. As we see the coverage there, they really had Hill. They had him short. They had the linebacker underneath, the safety to the inside, and then Mark Haynes was the deep guy. You see Byron Hunt, the linebacker, is out. He's playing him short and underneath. There's Haynes. He had him deep. Kennard was inside. They had him short and deep and inside. That's pretty tough coverage.
There's no way they're going to complete that pass. Joe Morris surges over the right side. Gets down inside the Dallas 35. Jeff Rohr on the stop. Clock running with 4:18:17 now remaining. Giants leading 16-7. Some of the crowd heading for the exits.
I'll tell you, the Giants haven't been as good today on offense as they were a week ago, but this group here, this defensive group, has played outstanding football against the Cowboys today. And they've rushed the passer. They've had great coverage. They've really blanketed that Cowboy offense.
They've been able to get nothing going. Here's Morris again, hanging on to the football. Not getting enough for a first down. Jim Jeffcoat made the stop.
The Giants could use a first down here. They'll probably go to that sprint thing again. You know, on that last one, the last time they threw it, it was intercepted, but had Lionel Manuel not fallen down, that one could have been a first down completion.
3rd and 5. 3:15 now left to play.
Because you know if they don't make it here, they're not going to go for the field goal.
Carpenter should have enough for a first down. If he doesn't, the Cowboys were offside. And that should be enough.
I think so. It looked like Ed Too Tall Jones from his left defensive end position jumped off sides or encroached or got in that neutral zone or whatever. So as you say, it'll be a first down either way for the Giants.
51 defense lined up in a neutral zone. Penalty refused. First down for the offense.
Anthony Dickerson, they say, lined up offside.
I think Too Tall jumped off sides too, because I saw him in that neutral zone. See, when a guy like Too Tall Jones is 6'7" and 270 pounds, when he gets in that neutral zone, you can see him. A lot of guys. He fills up.
Needs a big zone. Needs a big zone. The give is to Carpenter. Carpenter rambles inside the 20. Down to about the 17. Jeff Rohr on the stop. The Giants now just grind it out. Let's take a look at some of the other final scores. San Diego overpowered Indianapolis 38-10. Cleveland beat Buffalo 13-10. Buffalo still without a victory. Pittsburgh over Houston 35-7. It's been a tough year for Houston. Danny White with his shoulder bandaged. It's Carl Howard who wrenched his right knee, who's being taken off in the golf cart. 1st and 10, and it looks like the Giants are going to move into a tie with the Cowboys with 6-4 records. Carpenter again. Dexter Clinkscale at about the 12 with help from Ed Jones. Here's a scramble going on again.
What are they fighting for down there? Is there a ball down there? It's like Randy White. There's a takedown. He was on Chris Godfrey. Randy White was down there and had a hold of Chris Godfrey's leg, like it was one of those college wrestling things.
That's the
Looking for a reversal.
2-minute warning. 2 minutes left with the Giants leading Dallas 60-7. Danny White, bruised left shoulder. Had a tough day.
I was talking about the job that the Giant defense did in the second half. The Cowboys have only had 3 yards passing. A total of 80 yards in the second half.
That won't beat many people.
That's a blanket.
Carpenter at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 3rd down as John Dutton takes him down.
Yeah, if that defense here, if they were a pitcher in baseball, they'd have an ERA of like 1.2.
Be pretty strong, yeah.
Defenses ought to have ERAs and records like that. Guys will walk around, yeah. What's your ERA? Heck, we're about 1.3.
For an NFL update, let's take you back to Brent Musburger in New York.
In overtime, a long pass gives Eddie Murray a chip shot field goal, and he misses it. The Eagles and the Lions are still tied, and the Eagles now have driven out to midfield. Back to Pat Summerall.
Back here at Texas Stadium with John Madden. The Giants 16, Dallas 7.
Well, that's a tough deal for a kicker, huh? You get that thing,
man.
and old Murray get down there and hit that upright. Poof. Talking about a tough deal. Look at Tom Landry. I'll tell you one thing, though, with the Cowboys slipping and the injuries and the problems they're having and all the injury problems the Redskins are having, the Giants look pretty good now in this division. You know, we talk about St. Louis and talk about Dallas and Washington, but I'll tell you, this team out here just breaking the huddle, they're going to be in the thick of that thing.
3rd down and 6. It's Morris. Hustled out of bounds by Everson Walls.
I'm sure that was one thing that no one wanted him to do. I mean, if you don't get the 1st down or the touchdown, don't go out of bounds because they don't want to stop the clock here. That's the one thing. They're trying to get Joe Morris to the outside. Now, again, a week ago against the Redskins, he scored 3 touchdowns, and they were on that play right there with Carpenter leading, but he should have fought right there. Well, he did, really. He did. I mean, he was trying to dip that little left shoulder back to the inside. Walls hit that shoulder and just knocked him out of bounds. He was trying to stay in.
Rutledge from 27 yards out will hold for Ali Haji-Sheikh, who's 3 for 3 today. Now he's 4 for 4. And the Giants make it 19-7 over the Cowboys. Minute and 38 seconds left to play. For an NFL update, let's again go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Less than a minute to go. Tampa Bay down by 7. Steve DeBerg goes back, hits Kevin House for the touchdown. The extra point ties it. 58 seconds to go. We could have a second one headed for overtime. Back to Pat.
Don't think this one is going to be in overtime. 19-7. Giants over Dallas. Shaking hands. It'll be the 2nd time this year that the Giants would have beaten the Cowboys, and the 1st time here since 1974.
Yeah, who would have thought, you say before the season, the Giants are going to beat the Cowboys twice, and on successive Sundays they're going to beat the Redskins and the Cowboys? Okay, and I think, a couple weeks ago up there in Philadelphia, that's a game that they should have won. Then they would have been in great shape right now.
Sheikh kicks off. Chuck McSwain kneels into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20. Now let's again look at our lineup for next week. It's a doubleheader week here on CBS. It begins, of course, with the NFL today. Then New Orleans, Atlanta, Detroit, Washington, Philadelphia, Miami, San Francisco against Cleveland. Those are the early games. The late games, Dallas at St. Louis. That starting time has been changed. It's a late game. The Giants against Tampa Bay. John Madden will be in St. Louis for the match between the Cowboys and the Cardinals. 1:38 remaining. Hogeboom out of the spread. The screen pass to Dorsett. Not much. Lawrence Taylor.
And all due respect to the Cowboys and their play call, and I think now it's about time to get away from those screen passes.
I think so.
I think you've proven that's not going to get the job done today.
Hogeboom gets it out to Ron Springs, who gets it out of bounds. Bill Courier pushed him out.
I think these cornerbacks of the Giants, Mark Haynes, Perry Williams, I think have done an outstanding job, because we've talked about how the Cowboys have to throw the ball the whole game to their running backs. So you can say, well, why don't they throw to the wide receivers? Well, I would say that they're being covered, and they're doing a good job of blanketing those guys. You know, because Tony Hill in the last 3 games has caught 24 passes.
Right. And today he's got 1. 3rd and 1. Springs. Lawrence Taylor keeping him in bounds. Making sure.
I'm not exactly sure why it was the whole game. I know why it was on that play. It was he wasn't trying. Tony Hill just walked off the line or trotted down like he was for a walk in the park.
Dallas takes a timeout. They're down to 1 now. Executive producer of the NFL on CBS is Terry O'Neill. Senior producer is Chuck Milton. Bob Stenner produced this game. Sandy Grossman directed. Associate producer is Joan Vetrano. One minute left to play. Cowboys have the ball, their own 37. Hogeboom has gone over and chatted with Landry. It'll be a short flight back to New York tonight, and a happy one.
Bill Parcells is starting to get that smile on his face again. Tom Landry, of course, isn't. Look at Bill. You know, you can tell when a smile's starting. You know, it's not there yet. It's not there. And they're saying that old coaching cliche, it's never over till it's over. It's never over till the final gun. I'm not going to smile till we win. But it's starting.
Yeah.
It's starting to build up. You know, like it starts down here around your waist. Boom, 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 boom.
That's a good smile.
Boom, 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 boom,
It starts down there. Hogeboom almost has it picked off by Gary Reasons. It was intended for Donnelly. These guys are just not getting open.
No, they aren't, and they haven't been the whole game. I mean, that's been the story of it. One, they're not getting open, and, you know, again, why? Is it because they just don't have the ability or the coverage, or the quarterback can't hit them if they are?
55 seconds left to play. Stick around after the game is over for the NFL Today, and they'll bring you up to date on all the scores and highlights of today. 55 seconds. The ball still on the Cowboy 37. 2nd down 10. To Springs. Into Giant territory. Harry Carsons and Mark Haynes stop him. But the clock still runs now. 40 seconds left to play. Hogeboom outside of Springs, who steps out of bounds. Unusual happenings around the NFL today. And the NFL Today, the wrap-up show will tell you what happened. Like 2 games are being overtime. Post-game show coming up.
Look at Mark Haynes. He's out there all by himself. The other guy's huddled up. He's standing back there deep. He knows what he has to do. He says, I don't have to get in the huddle to know what I have to do. Don't let him get behind me. As deep as the deepest.
Coming your way, Perry.
Picked off by Terry Kennard. Right in the end zone. Intended for Donnelly. Kennard has it. And that'll do it. Bill Parcells has beaten Washington and Dallas back-to-back.
They had what, you know, Perry Williams has done a good job over there in that corner all game and all year. Number 23, they're going to take one more shot. He has inside help from Terry Kennard. Kennard gets up deep, gets the interception. He looks tired. He has a, you know, it doesn't sound like a bad injury that Kennard has, but it's a turf toe. The new thing, you stub your toe in the turf. I'll tell you, that's a painful thing. Now they can bring out the smile.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty low, right?
Sims just kneels. Less than 20 seconds remaining. The Giants 19, the Cowboys 7. Twice in 1 year. Parcells waves across him. To Tom Landry. Good effort by the defensive unit. I mean, outstanding effort by the defensive unit. They really did a number. That is the situation here as the Giants beat the Cowboys 19-7. Now let's go to Brent Musburger.
All right, welcome back to New York. I'm Brent Musburger with Irv Cross and Jimmy the Greek. We have drama unfolding in the Minnesota game right now. They are tied with just 17 seconds to go, and the Vikings are moving into field goal distance. It is 24-24 right now. It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who rallied. Steve DeBerg hit Kevin House, and now let's go out as Jan Stenerud gets ready with 7 seconds left on the clock and attempt to win the game. And let's pick up now the natural sound.
This game would be over, but here comes Stenerud.
This will be Jan Stenerud attempting a 52-yard game-winning field goal.
And that's a new snapper in there. Frizzell, Huff, and Sams are both gone.
7 seconds left. Holman to hold. Stenerud from 52 yards out. Here's the kick.
So the Minnesota Vikings beat John McKay and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Jan Stenerud does it with a last-second field goal. The final score, 27-24. We have another game in overtime.